Joining me now, first-class parents, Anne and Jordan Belfort. Welcome to First Class Fatherhood.
Thank you.
Perfect.
All right, let's start here. How many kids do you guys have, and how old are they?
Together we have 3, and one of them is 26, 24,
and 22.
And 22. Well, actually, Carter's, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
What a good
All
guy.
right.
I remember my kids' age.
Very cool. What type of sports or activities were they all into growing up?
Well, let's see. Carter was mainly soccer. He didn't have a choice. I think he was really pushed into soccer.
Played volleyball too.
And then he got volleyball.
He was an amazing soccer
player. My son played soccer, baseball, water polo, basketball.
Yeah.
He played everything.
Yeah. And then Chandler played soccer and volleyball too.
Yeah.
All the kids are really good athletes.
Okay, yeah, very good. Let me see, if you could, just take a minute here to hit my listeners, guys, with a little bit about your background. You want to start with you, Anne?
Sure.
Just a little bit about your background and what you do.
Oh, my background, what I do, I wrangle Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a full-time job. Before I met Jordan, I was a single mother, and I worked in mortgages. And after Jordan, the real work started.
Yeah. Right. So, my background, everyone pretty much knows, right?
Yeah, but maybe for the 1 or 2 people on the planet who are unsure.
Well, I was born in New York City, right? And then I was an entrepreneur from a very young age. Everything from I was the kid with the lemonade stand and newspaper route, and then eventually I started a brokerage firm when I was very young. And it became massive. I made a ton of money, made a lot of mistakes along the way. It became a movie, The Wolf of Wall Street, where, at the end I ended up going to jail. And then along the way, though, I built a system for training salesmen that really was incredible and empowered people. So that really lived on. And eventually I circled back and focused on ethical persuasion and built a business around that, which obviously was, very easy to do in the wake of the movie, but even before that was pretty easy. But it's become a global brand, and there we are.
Yeah, it's an inspiring story, Jordan, especially the way you've been able to turn it around and find a way to provide so much service to other people now with what you do. It's really remarkable. And how old were you, Jordan, when you first became a father, and how did becoming a dad kind of change your perspective on life?
It was in my early 30s. I think it was 31 when I became a dad officially. At that time, I looked at my daughter as the only pure thing in my life, pretty much. So, everything I had at that time was based on money, even my marriage. I mean, it was like all based on I wouldn't just say all greed and fueled, but just a wild, over-the-top lifestyle. It had all been somewhat corrupted. And my daughter came into the world, and she was this perfect little creature. And I just, I think I directed a lot of my love and used her to maintain some of my sanity as well by projecting stuff onto her. And thankfully, she turned out amazing. I mean, she just graduated from NYU, grad school, and she's just always been a great kid,
She is amazing.
She is amazing, yeah.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, and Anne, I mean, I have a lot of different single parents and remarried parents on the show here, and one of the things that a lot of times they're a little apprehensive about is introducing their children to a new potential spouse. So, when did you feel comfortable introducing your son to Jordan?
My son's an interesting character as far as that he was always a little old for his age. He was very comfortable meeting anyone. I didn't really date much. But he's the one that actually encouraged me to date Jordan. He was tired of his mom going through life alone. He was worried about me at 10. I don't know if I take that as a compliment or not, but he really wanted me to have someone to share my life with. So he basically forced Jordan on me, and he facilitated it, and he made sure Jordan and I spent a lot of time together.
Okay, yeah, very cool. Who would you say between the two of you there, who's the bigger disciplinarian when it comes to disciplining a kid?
I am.
There's not even a contest. Jordan is the easiest touch there ever was. I was known as probably one of the toughest moms in our whole town.
Yeah, and disciplinarian.
Yeah, and I'm curious to ask you this, Jordan, because, I mean, I drive Uber on the weekends here, and it's mostly kids that are in college, and they seem to have, no clue what they plan on doing with their marine biology degrees or their philosophy degrees, and it seems like right now is the best age for the entrepreneur and to be able to, be your own boss. So, in your opinion, is college necessary to succeed in today's world?
No, I think college is a total scam. And I'm totally. And now, that being said, but people like my daughter who wants to get a degree and use that degree, she's a psychologist and she's going to practice it, and she has a master's. Or for someone who wants to be a doctor or a lawyer, yeah, there are certain, very defined engineer where there's certain formal training. But I would say outside that 10% of people, it's the biggest waste of time and scam in the world. All they do is they indoctrinate people into an ultra-liberal way of thinking. They turn them into soft marshmallows. And frankly, it's also a monetary scam because they pump up the price of college by allowing people to borrow massive amounts of money, which leaves people saddled with student debt, and they have no skill set to then pay back that money.
They have no critical
It's a total scam, college. Biggest scam ever.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love the messages that you put out there, too, about investing in yourself. And personal development is something that I think should probably be introduced at the grade school level, I think, because it seems like kids are coming out with no idea how to, build themselves up and market themselves into the marketplace to try to bring some value to it.
Well, gender studies is a tricky one to monetize.
You know what? I honestly, I really, at this point, it looks to me like that literally the old, we used to have, like, back in the McCarthy days, it was like the communist scare. They've actually won. They've actually infiltrated the institutions of education, the ultra-liberal leftist, literally communist way. I think it's really in there right now, and they've literally taken over the institutions of learning and media, and it's destroying our country. I really do. I think it's destroying the country, and I fear for my kids because of that. I really do.
Yeah, and one of the things I talk about on the podcast a lot, Jordan, is that I feel that the fatherless crisis is playing a big role in this as well. We have too many kids growing up in this country without a father in the home. Yeah, and that's why I think it's so important. Like you say, you take on. How has it been the experience of the role for you playing as far as being the stepdad?
Well, I mean, Bowen and I are really. He's like my own. I call him my own. So I don't distinguish him between my own kids and Bowen. He's like. I'm probably close with Bowen just because I spend time. Bowen works with me, so I see him every single day. But I think there's listen. I think it's important to have a father in the home. But that being said, Anne raised Bowen by herself and took on both roles and did an amazing job. I don't think it's just that. I think that being a father is crucial. Yes, obviously in a perfect world. But that being said, there's a lot of amazing kids out there that were raised by single moms. So I don't think that's the linchpin about what's going on. There's a lot more going on than just that.
I think it's more morality and family values and structure, and the parents willing to be parents. I never was shied away from being a parent and being a tough parent, and I think that's where the breakdown is. Parents are absent as parents, whether they're together or separate.
Yeah, very well said. And I think another thing that plays into this too is the technology. There's a big gap between a lot of the parents today and the way their kids are using the technology. So how have you guys kind of monitored or handled, technology, social media, and all that stuff with your kids?
Fortunately, I got lucky. We missed that and dodged that boat because by the time
I totally had all my sons passwords.
No. But I'm talking when they were very young though. It didn't exist though. We missed the real ways of it. But kids now 5 and 6 and 8 on social. Like 10. Social media. By the time social media really came around, Bowen was young. This was probably 15 or 16 maybe.
And he was kind of against it.
And he was kind of So it didn't really impact. Us in terms of I understand what you're saying, that there's just, the parents have no idea what the kids are even saying. Well, how do you even access what they're saying online? There's all these.
I did.
Yeah, but again, it didn't really matter as much. It's very different now than it was when Bowen was.
But I think monitoring it is important. I don't think I don't think parents should be ashamed for your kids are living under your roof to have their passwords and monitor what they do. If they want to have autonomy, they can move out.
Well, there's no difference between my dad. In my house when I grew up, it was no closed doors. You couldn't lock your door until you were the next one at 17, that changed, 16. But before that, as I was an adolescent, what's the difference between a closed or locked door and a password that you don't have access to? It's very similar,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, the movie Wolf of Wall Street was a huge success. And a lot of kids, a lot of, teenage guys that they're interested in pursuing a career, on Wall Street, getting into the stock market game. What advice do you have, Jordan, for the parents of those kids that are looking to get into the game?
I don't think there's anything wrong with, someone having a career in banking or Wall Street, however you want to refer to it. But I don't think that kids look at the movie and just think about Wall Street. I think they think about success. I don't think there's a really I want to be a stockbroker. I mean, I think it's much broader than that. I think people look at the movie and they get most people I think get a really good takeaway, that they feel empowered by it and also see the mistakes that I made, so they want to emulate the good stuff and not repeat the bad stuff. Obviously, there's always a couple of nuts in there that I want to just take drugs and go wild, right? I mean, that person would have done that anyway. But I think that the big thing is that it's about success. I don't think it's. What do you think? You think it's Wall Street or it's more success, Anne?
I think it's success.
Yeah.
I think people. There's a glamour of Wall Street, and maybe it makes it seem easier to be successful on Wall Street, but it's work wherever you go.
Yeah, I think it's not just Wall Streat.
And I think they realize the hours they have to put in if they really want to be successful on Wall Street, just like anything else.
Yeah, that seems to be the key with success all the way around. And now, have all your kids seen the movie, and what's been their response to it?